Welcome to FSE Live. Detroit, Michigan, and Las Vegas are 2,000 miles apart, but they have at least one thing in common: a truly dynamic entrepreneur whose businesses are as different as the cities in which they operate. Stay tuned to hear this remarkable, if not unlikely, tale of two cities.
The Fremont Street Experience in downtown Las Vegas. It's FSE Live with your host, Jeff Victor.
Welcome to FSE Live right here on the Vegas Video Network. My name is Jeff Victor. I'm the president of the Fremont Street Experience, and I'm your host. Here we are shooting live on the Fremont Street Experience again tonight. This is episode 4. We've got an interesting show for you. We've got a great set of guests, including with movers and shakers, a really interesting casino owner. For our musical guests, we have one of the 11 the lead singer of one of the 11 bands that we're going to have out here on New Year's Eve. And then for Meet the Neighbors, we've got somebody who's running a truly interesting, novel kind of business you want to hear about. Tom will take us through best bets. Stay tuned. Tonight's Movers and Shakers is just that. In fact, the Review Journal just recently named him one of the top 10 movers and shakers in Las Vegas, mainly because of the influence he's having right here on Fremont Street Experience. He's a native of Detroit, and he splits his time now between Detroit and Las Vegas. Please welcome the co-owner of both the Golden Gate Casino and the D Casino, Derek. How you doing tonight?
Jeff, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me on here tonight.
This is your first time being on a video podcast, is that right?
First video podcast, that's right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
So, I joined Fremont Street Experience 6-7 years ago, and you were here at the time. You came on about when?
You know, I first met Mark Brandenburg in 2006.
Yeah.
And then I reached agreement to buy 50% of the Golden Gate in October of 06. It took 18 months to get my gaming license, and I finally was able to get into the gaming business in March of 08. So
yeah. So first of all, folks don't know what was your job. What were you into before you got into the casino business? What is it that you do back in Detroit?
I'm in the auto parts supply business, and
sounds just like casinos.
There's some similarities, actually, surprisingly, but. Yeah. From Detroit, I wanted to diversify a little bit, and this was a rather significant diversification. I wanted to get into a new industry. I love Nevada. I love Las Vegas. I love the economics. I love the business climate. And when we decided to make the move, we decided downtown Las Vegas was where we wanted to make our first investment. And then kind of just went from there.
Well, I'm sure glad you did. And entrepreneurs, by their nature, are gamblers, aren't they? I mean,
I think you have to be willing to take a little bit of risk.
A little bit of risk.
That's right.
And so you really kind of get the gaming business. In fact, you kind of got the idea because you like to come to Las Vegas as a visitor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like to come to Las Vegas. I just love the atmosphere and the people in Las Vegas. There's such a high degree of entrepreneurial spirit. The fact that there's no income tax in the state of Nevada had an impact on my decision. But overall, I like this business and I like the people.
Right. So I know you've been asked this question before. You bought into the Golden Gate, and then you picked up a property that used to be called the Fitzgeralds, and you completely rebranded it, and now you're remodeling it, and the name is the D. And so, why?
Well, what ended up happening was when we finally acquired Fitzgeralds, we knew that we were going to dramatically transform the property. We wanted to renovate all 640 hotel rooms, renovate both stories of the casino, bring in all new restaurants, and we thought the transition was going to be so dramatic that the property needed a rebranding. So then in going through the process of coming up with the name, that's actually a tricky process.
Yeah.
I had a number of offers and ideas provided to me by various individuals who actually happened to register the URL the day before, things like that.
Oh, nice.
So we ended up, I ended up having a pretty close to the vest team, and we ended up coming up with the name the D. And really, it stands for three things. It stands for, a tip of the cap, basically, to where my brother and I are from Detroit, which is called the D. It's because we're downtown in the year of downtown. And yeah, truthfully, a lot of people just call me D. So that's how it all just kind of came together. All the stars aligned on this one.
You mentioned both floors of the casino. It's unusual to have a casino that has multi-levels, and it comes with a bit of a challenge, doesn't it? And so you were looking for a way to differentiate the two. And so I know the upstairs is under construction right now. What are you going to do?
Well, what we're going to have all the construction done within the next 8 weeks. But what we really tried to do is create two different themes. Our first floor theme is loud, vibrant, the dancing dealers all over the place. The longest bar in Nevada, Long Bar, the greatest sports bar in my opinion. And I designed the thing in a way that it was a place that I wanted to go to on Sunday to watch football. And I think it's just a very fun and vibrant atmosphere. Second floor, we themed it a little bit differently, where it is more oriented around vintage Las Vegas. Right. I tell everybody that on the first floor we have a lot of LED. Second floor we have a lot of neon.
Right. Yeah. Coins upstairs at all?
And we have a rather wide array of coin-operated slot machines.
So it really is retro.
It is retro, no question about it. A lot of people still really like playing the coins.
I hear it all the time. Is there a place where I can do that? And so at least I'll have a place to direct them now. That's great. I can't wait. And so you mentioned greatest place to watch sports. So Tom and I were down here on Sunday getting ready for the Las Vegas Marathon. You know, and so we stepped inside to check out the crowd and stuff, and we saw all the long row of TVs, and we said, well, let's just sit down for a minute. The race isn't here quite yet. A half hour later, we were still sitting there pointing at multiple games all at the same time. It really is a nice experience.
Right. It's a lot of fun. 100 over 100 feet of TVs in a row, and it's perfect fun. An NFL Sunday, or when baseball or basketball is on, you got every game out there. So it doesn't matter who you're a fan of, we got it covered.
And a good crowd. It's a crowd inside there that enjoys sports. I mean, they found the spot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with the way it's played out.
And then you took the long bar idea and brought it outside, because you have a very long bar out there. We do. We created outside of the D bar, and it's got a very unique look to it on Fremont Street. It's brightly lit, and it's targeted at one end with all of our flair bartenders. And I'm happy to say I think we've got 6 of the top 10 flair bartenders in the world that work at D bar, and they put on a pretty nice looking show when you're getting your cocktail. And then we have our slush girls at the other end. You said slush, right, with an SH?
I said slush girls.
Okay.
Or dancing bartenders.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
And the slush because of the slush
because we have 18 frozen drinks. That's right. 18 frozen drinks, and these girls can deal it out pretty well.
That's great. I go to some of those flair competitions, and I've seen some of your guys out there. They're amazing.
Yep, they're great.
So, there's a lot of things that you have going on, in your place. You're renovating restaurants upstairs. I don't know if you're ready to talk about those yet or not.
Yeah, I'll give FSE Live the opener here.
All right.
Now we're going to open the D Grill on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That one's out there, but I'll let you know that we're going to be opening a restaurant, a new steakhouse. It'll open on Super Bowl weekend, and it's going to be run and owned by a fellow by the name of Joe Vaccari. Joe actually won a Restaurant of the Year award in Michigan in 2011. He runs a great Italian steakhouse, and it'll be called Joe Vaccari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse.
Wow.
And I am real excited about the new opening of this new restaurant.
I know you've taken me through the construction site, and lots of, you're not just doing a paint job. You ripped out the entire floor and are starting over. So I can't wait. In fact, when you take me through, I get disoriented because I've seen it the old way so long that I can't recognize where I am.
No, we're excited. We're going to have two great culinary feasts for people to experience.
All right. So with all this going on, somebody could come into the D and walk through and miss something that you think that they shouldn't. What might, if there's one thing that you don't want them to walk past, What would it be?
Well, you know, I'm actually going to answer it two ways. I think first, the Sigma Derby, the horse racing, coin-operated slot machine upstairs, that's a slick little game. A lot of people have a lot of fun with it, and that's worth taking a look at. And really the second issue is, I'm real happy that we just opened a restaurant just a month ago called American Coney Island. This is a restaurant, actually, it's only their second restaurant in the United States. Their first one opened in 1915. And I think there's been a line out the door ever since. It's a 24-hour Coney Island restaurant. It's got a unique flavor, unique taste, and it's one of the most iconic restaurants in all of Detroit. And I'm just glad we brought it to Vegas, so it's worth trying.
I am too, because the chili is. I don't eat a lot of meat, but the chili is worth going out of your way for.
Yeah. So,
and also you shared, just like Mark Brandenburg did on our first show. You wanted to offer a little love to the viewers?
Well, I think for everybody here at FSE Live, anytime you come on into Long Bar, I think their first Labatt is on me.
All right.
All you got to do is mention FSE Live.
That's great. Well, that's where we'll be after the show.
All right.
Well, thank you very
I'll see
much
you up there,
for
Jeff.
joining
Thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it.
Real good. Thanks.
Right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly Clinton. That's stuff. I wonder if Joan Rivers is watching.
Oh, please. Oh, my God. Who cares?
I don't have a different one. You know who watches this show? Wayne Newton.
You got that right, Kelly. I think you're absolutely beautiful and talented young lady. 5, 6, 9, 12. Talker shit.
More camera time for me.
Hey, I wonder if Cher's watching.
Oh, please. I have so many other things to do.
Woo! Hi, I'm Kelly Clinton. I'm the host of Talk Tales, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. That was horrible.
As I said at the top of the show, tonight's musical guest is he's the lead singer of one of the 11, count them, 11 bands that will be playing live here on New Year's Eve. You just saw him in a music video. Let's meet him in person. Welcome, Jizzy Pearl. How are you, sir?
How are you, Jeff? How are you?
Good. So how is it that your parents gave you the name Jizzy? Is that...
You're just going to dive right in, right? Good. Jizzy, Jim, my real name's Jim.
Yeah.
So it's a nickname.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as the rest of my name, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm just kidding. I thought we'd break a little ice here. Because you played here on Fremont Street before. We've met, but I haven't spent a lot of time talking to you.
2006 with Rat.
Yeah.
One of those bands. And I played here with Bret Michaels.
Yeah, recently.
And I'm excited. I'm going to play New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Here at...
have you ever been to Fremont Street on New Year's Eve?
I have not.
You're probably always working somewhere else. Well, I got to tell you, this is 25,000 people.
Okay.
We privatized the street. They have to pay to get in, and it's probably one of the best places on the planet to spend New Year's Eve. And so
I'm excited.
Well, what's it like? I mean, like opening for Bret Michaels, but in particular, because you've worked with a lot of big bands, what's it like to play to a Fremont Street crowd? Are they good-natured?
They are very good. It's very cool. Very rowdy.
Very rowdy? Like in a good way? Like dancing,
yes.
Yelling,
yes.
Singing?
Nobody throws anything. That's all good.
No Blues Brothers stuff coming up on the stage.
No, it's actually, I've had a great couple of times here, and I'm looking forward to playing New Year's Eve and in the future. It's great.
Okay, so you mentioned Rat. Tell us about your background. How did you get interested in music, and what's been your path?
Well, my first band was Love Hate, which you just saw the video, back when they made videos.
Yeah.
Made a couple of records with them. Then I was in a band called LA Guns, and I was with them for a few years. Then I joined Rat, and so I just played around, toured the world, had a lot of fun.
And now you're out on your own?
Well, I still tour occasionally.
Is that right? Okay.
But I do enjoy playing here in Las Vegas. I have my own band, very talented musicians, Michael Vassos and Doc Ellis on guitar, and Josh Jones, Chaz Stumbo, I got to mention him. And we play here locally, and great bunch of guys, no drama.
That's great. Well, listen, we're only a few weeks away from New Year's, and I mean, we as the FSE staff work on New Year's for probably 6 months, and so this is a big night for us. We're looking forward to it. I'm going to come by the stage and say hi to you that night. Thanks for being our guest here tonight.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Nice to meet you too. I wanted to spend time with you all this time, but
take a picture, babe.
Get a picture.
And where are you guys visiting us from?
We're visiting from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Yay, the Badger State.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to Fremont Street before?
No. Yes.
Yes.
You've been here before,
Yeah.
Tina. What was something you told her to get her excited about coming here?
Binions was down here.
Binions? You want to check out Binions? Well, you're at the right place.
And when we came here the first time, there was a live band right when we got here, and it just screamed Vegas.
And that was your
exciting.
first impression about visiting.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And what, now that you've been here before, George, right?
Yes, I have.
What is your favorite thing about Fremont Street?
Well, my favorite thing about Fremont Street is that everything is right here. It's so close. It's fun. It's wild. It's crazy. This is true Vegas right
It
here.
screams Vegas.
True
How do you
Vegas.
guys all know each other?
I'm married to him. This is my stepdaughter, my daughter.
Wonderful. And if you could ask Jeff Victor, our president, any question about how Fremont Street operates, what would it be?
I would ask him how he got the bands to play down here.
Right. How bands are chosen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
That was wonderful.
You know, Las Vegas, going back decades, has had a really rich tradition of having live music as part of the scene. Sadly, through the years, it faded off dramatically, and so we're very proud on Fremont Street to offer a wide variety of bands every night of the year, and the process is pretty straightforward. I mean, because we're one of the few people out there hiring, sadly, there are a whole bunch of bands out there looking for work, and so they typically go through agents. The agents will send the materials. We sit down as a group and review the materials, bring them in, give them a try, and if they're good, they stay, and they generally do.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
As we've been doing since the first episode, I want to remind you that we want to hear from you, so keep those cards and letters coming. Or if you manage to keep up with technology over the last couple of decades, you'll want to keep in touch with us through email. You can do that through FSE at VegasVideoNetwork.com, or you can send us a web-based voicemail by going to the Vegas Video Network website. Click on the button over there on the right, have a microphone ready, hit start recording. We'll get a recording of your voice and we'll review it after the fact. Of course, you can watch us live, and if you're watching us live, you can live chat. Just send us something in, and Scott will be back there behind the board jumping up and down, and I'll take your question. And then if you're not able to join us live, you can catch us after the fact on the VegasVideoNetwork.com site, YouTube, Roku, iTunes, and every Saturday afternoon at noon on KSHP 1400. So for those of you that are familiar with downtown Las Vegas, you know that our neighbors to the east have a slightly different vibe going on down there. They have a district called, well, Fremont East. And so the different vibe is being defined by the businesses and, more importantly, the people with the ideas running these businesses. And tonight's guest is one of the pioneers and one that has one of the most unique concepts down there. It's a place called Insert Coins. Tonight joining us is the founder, Chris LaPorte. How you doing?
Hello, neighbor. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Pleasure's mine.
So, hey, I want to talk to you about your place, but before we do, for those that aren't familiar, can you describe a little bit about Fremont Street? I mean, you're just a block literally from where we're sitting right now, and the mood in the crowd changes a little bit. And so tell us what's going on there.
Well, the interesting, I'm fighting a flu. I apologize,
you just shook
but
my hand too. Jeez. God.
So Fremont East Entertainment District, as we so lovingly call it, Fremont East. We're kind of like the local spot. You know, it's where most of the locals will come out to kind of bar hop.
Right.
So it's not that much different than what the Fremont Street experience is. You know, I've always likened the Fremont Street experience to the boardwalk back home. You know, back in Jersey, you had the boardwalk, walk around, bar hop, all kinds of different entertainment. Fremont East is like a microcosm of that.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, a lot of local, just entrepreneurs, and just a spot for a lot of industry people to come out, you know, just a different watering hole.
Okay, so just a couple years ago, the city got involved in what was a defunct neighborhood, essentially, and they fixed up the street, added some neon, some wider sidewalks, and then started encouraging business owners like yourself to bring neat concepts down there. And so you got in fairly early, and now the place is just exploding. I mean, we've had how many openings in the last month?
At least 3.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's incredible. And so it's restaurants, it's bars, it's just
fashion stores. You know,
and so this happens in every city, doesn't it? You know, where a place gets vulnerable, and then it does something really organic. And
I hear so much about the downtown revitalization. I don't see it revitalizing, it's just growing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm originally from New York, and, you know, every city has a downtown.
Right.
And Las Vegas, you know, when you say Las Vegas, you immediately think about the Strip.
Yeah, it's not.
But what we're seeing now is, you know, a greater sense of, I don't know, knowledge that downtown Las Vegas is a part of the city of Las Vegas. So, you know, again, Fremont Street Experience is always going to have serious tourism coming through.
Right.
And we've always just tried to kind of get a little piece of that action. But now that we've offered so many more, you know, entertainment options outside of, you know, Insert Coins and the Griffin, Vanguard, DCR, I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, there's one more reason to come check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Downtown is cool. And so tell us a little bit about your place. I mean, Insert Coins, I mean, it's a novel neighborhood, and you're a novel product. And so how would you describe it?
I don't know. It's very hard to describe Insert Coins because when you describe it, you don't really quite get it until you go into the place.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So when I describe Insert Coins as a nightclub with video games, you scratch your head. Huh? What is that?
I got to tell you, when I heard you were coming, and that was kind of the line I got, I went, huh?
Yeah, huh?
And then I went in.
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, then I went in. It was great.
You know, the exciting thing is video games are basically part of the American culture. I always say it's American as apple pie and baseball.
Right.
And both of those things aren't that American anymore because who really gets time to eat apple pie and baseball? You know, I like basketball. But video games are everywhere. And so I have a nightclub with DJs and a dance floor, bottle service, and your choice of video game console, 60 arcade cabinets. Sit at the bar, ask for a controller, drink at the bar and play Madden, Call of Duty, whichever you'd like. We have a library of 4,000 games. And all that, you know, in a really, really cool new jumping part of town.
Yeah, and you know, your place is really cool because the crowd is diverse, because you do have the brand new game consoles on part of the joint, and then you got Pac-Mans and Asteroids and all the old school stuff, Street Fighter and all that. And part of this whole thing came to you because these are your passions, right?
I mean, I love video games. Before I was doing Insert Coins, I was in medical device sales. I was tired of golfing with my clients and said, it's time to play video games, damn it. But the thing that's exciting about it is, you know, we just got picked in Vegas Rated magazine as the new standard of nightlife.
Yeah.
And it's exciting because the way they described us was it was like a family-friendly feel. We try to be really inclusive because the person who grew up on Centipede, you know, might not be playing Call of Duty, and the person who plays Call of Duty did not grow up playing Space Invaders.
Right.
So we do get a very diverse crowd, and, you know, the way we work with that is our DJs play multiple genres of music, so it's always something different to entertain you. And, you know, of course, we have an amazing selection of liquor, and our staff is friendly, and I'm there, you know, working hard, too, to keep everyone, you know, on the up and up.
Yeah, hey, man, you're, before I forget, you just expanded. You're going to another city.
We just opened up our second location in downtown Minneapolis, which we're really excited about, and, you know, sky's the limit. You know, after your second one, maybe San Francisco next, LA, New York, Chicago, Tampa.
Well, I hope you got a good staff up there, because I want you to spend your time here.
I do want to spend most of my time. I will not leave Las Vegas. I have promised that to myself and everybody else.
Hey, you're a good neighbor and a good friend.
I appreciate it so much for having me. Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Best Bets.
is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because it's David from. You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
We're at the point in the show where we want to tell you a few things that are happening in the next couple of weeks. We call it Best Bets, and joining me once again to fill in the detail is a Director of Marketing at Fremont Street Experience, Tom Bruni. How you doing, Tom?
Great.
Good to see you. So we've had a busy week this week. We talked a little bit on last week's show. Tell us what's coming. What's right around the corner?
Well, I'm already getting hungry just thinking about the next 2 days.
I know.
Because tomorrow night we have the chili cook-off here on Fremont Street Experience. Yep. And then Saturday afternoon we have the first Downtown Throwdown Barbecue Championship. So they're going to be smoking for 20 hours, ribs, brisket, chicken, pork, and that's going to be happening Saturday afternoon. And the public's invited to come on down and taste all the different ribs.
Oh, you know,
and then vote. You get a vote too. The public gets to vote.
I got to tell you, I spent a fair amount of my life in the South and Southwest, and so barbecue. Like I said, I don't eat as much meat as I used to, but I sucker in for good chili and good barbecue. So I'll be here.
What I didn't know until talking to the people who put on the barbecue event is that real barbecue people smoke it, not grill it.
Right. And when we talk about the people putting on the event, these are not amateurs by any stretch.
No, it's the NBA.
Yeah.
The Nevada Barbecue Association.
Yeah, so we're doing this in conjunction with the National Finals Rodeo, which is one of the biggest events that comes to Las Vegas. We thought it would be an interesting little addition that fit with the theme.
Yeah, last night we did the Downtown Hoedown kickoff party to the 2 weeks of NFR. We're doing 12 days of country music on our 3 stages, and then adding the chili cook-off and the barbecue championships on top of that gives more people reasons to come down.
Okay, and then we're into a new week. What happens next? Well, Sunday.
We're doing the official Las Vegas menorah lighting ceremony on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. On Monday at 5 o'clock, we're doing the official Christmas tree for Las Vegas.
Right.
60-foot tree here on Fremont Street.
Right.
Mayor Carolyn Goodman is going to be participating in both those events.
Awesome.
And then following week, we're doing 2 events in conjunction with the Las Vegas Bowl. We have December 19th, at Wednesday, we have the official team reception and dinner.
Hey, let me interrupt you. The Las Vegas Bowl, for those that don't know, this is the football bowl for college games. It's the first one in the series, right?
Well, it's not the actual first, but the one in Albuquerque is.
Oh, really?
Kicks it off.
All right. Well, it's very early in the season because it's not after New Year's. But
this is the 21st annual Las Vegas Bowl, and University of Washington Huskies will be playing Boise State Broncos. Great matchup.
Yeah, great matchup. Yeah, good stuff. And so we feed the players one night, and then the next night we have the band and the cheerleaders. So all good flavors.
Wednesday the 19th is the dinner and reception with the team, sponsored by Outback. And then on Friday night, the night before the game, the 21st, we have the bands and the cheerleaders and the fans down here. And that's a real fun event.
So I know we'll do a show between now and New Year's, but we had Jizzy Pearl out here because he's one of the performers. And I mentioned that on the night of New Year's Eve, we'll have 11 bands. And then the nights before New Year's, we're going to have additional bands. But focus on New Year's Eve for a second. Give me an idea of what kind of bands we're going to have on that evening.
It's Downtown Countdown, and we have Buck Cherry, Queensryche, Quiet Riot, Pop Evil, Otherwise, and then 6 local favorite bands, including Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, who's playing behind us right now?
Yeah, Yellow Brick Road plays here every Thursday night now.
Awesome.
So Downtown Countdown, New Year's Eve. It's the only night we privatize Fremont Street.
Right.
It's the only night it's not free. It's $40 or $30 if you have a Nevada ID, and it's the best street party in the city.
Yeah, we should explain why we privatize it. It's not because we want to take money out of people's pockets, but literally the police department and the fire department needed us to come up with a mechanism to limit the occupancy of the street.
Yeah, we want people to have a great time, and that crowd control is part of that. So As you said, the fire department and the police department have determined that 30,000 is capacity for these 4 blocks. And so we have 30,000 wristbands to sell.
Yeah, and lots of, it takes a lot of work to get that together to privatize it because this street is pretty wide open. So for us to close off every door and entrance and street corner, it's a big effort, a very expensive effort on our part, but man, is it worth it. I mean, I've been to the Strip, it's a nice place, but here you got access to bars and bathrooms and live music and the Viva Vision programming, literally live fireworks underneath the canopy, a year in review show. I mean, I love New Year's.
It is. It starts at 6 p.m. on the 31st, goes to 3 a.m. on the 1st.
Yeah.
So 11 bands, 3 stages, fireworks, the mayor doing the countdown. It's going to be a spectacular evening.
That's great. Well, Tom, as always, thanks for keeping me straight on this stuff. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and then we'll wind up the show.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say. 3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host. Really, I have to say watching. Well,
That's how you do it. You
really?
don't watch. There
Okay. I got it. We
are the odds couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are. We are too.
Well, that's tonight's show. You know, I spent a lot of time preparing for it, and then I get up here, and it goes by in a blink. I had a great time tonight. I hope you did too. I want to thank my guests, Derek Stevens, Jizzy Pearl, Chris LaPorte from down the street, Tom for helping us out. I hope, as we always intend to do, that you are leaving after watching this show with a better appreciation of why downtown and Fremont Street Experience are such special places. This is a very unique place, and it's because of the wonderful people that you met tonight and the ones that you'll meet throughout our program. We hope you'll stay tuned. What was that? We'll be back in 2 weeks unless Chris got me sick by shaking me with my hand. See you later.